Welcome to the back office. I'm Dalayna Dillon, the founder and creative director of Signify Marketing, and this is where you sit in on real strategy. Each conversation, we step into active businesses and have honest conversations about marketing, growth, leadership, and the decisions shaping what happens next. No one has it fully figured out, but we are building anyway. And today we are sitting down with Dr. Kamryn Good, owner of Healing Hive Chiropractic, a family-centered practice dedicated to helping children and families experience healing through neurologically focused chiropractic care. After taking ownership of the practice last year, Kamryn has been growing more than a business. She's intentionally building a community where families feel safe, supported, and truly seen. In our conversation, we're going to talk about stepping into business ownership and leading with purpose and creating a culture of trust and what that looks like to build a business that reflects your values. So we got a lot to talk about, Kamryn.
Yes.
Thanks for being on the podcast today.
I'm so excited.
So tell us, I know that there's probably been a long road to here, to Healing Hive, but kind of give us an idea of like, let's just start with your chiropractic journry yourself, because I hear it's quite the process.
Yes, it is. Chiropractic school is no small feat, let me tell you. I originally didn't think I was going the chiropractic route. I wanted to be in the medical field somehow.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I wanted, so I shadowed multiple different professions and kind of left feeling not as fulfilled as I wanted to be. And I finally got a card. My best friend had unfortunately been in a car wreck, but she gave me the card of her chiropractor. And so I went and shadowed him, and he has been a mentor ever since. And that was my sophomore year of undergrad at the U of A. And so he actually went to the same school that I did, Cleveland Chiropractic in Kansas City. And the rest has kind of been history chiropractic wise. So that's kind of how I ended up.
What parts of medical field, what parts were you looking at originally?
I looked into nursing, PT, OT. I looked into speech therapy, looked into being a PA, what medical school looks like, and none of it, I never left feeling like, like I really made an awesome impact on that patient that day. Until I shadowed my chiropractor, and everyone that walks into a chiropractic office, whether it's pain-based, whether it's neurologically focused chiropractic care, whatever it may be, they always end up leaving happier than when they came in, which I absolutely loved and didn't really see that happening in other professions. So that's ultimately why I've left fulfilled shadowing that day, and that was kind of the end of it.
So it starts with undergrad, you get your undergrad, and then you go to chiropractic school?
Yeah.
And how many years is that?
So undergrad will be a full 4, and then chiropractic school is 3.5, depending on what school you go to. It could be 4.
Yeah. And then you came back to your stomping ground.
Yeah.
Your original stomping ground. And how did this all become where you are now owning your own? Because that's a big thing, like to go from getting out of chiropractic school and then now you're owning your own practice.
Yes, it's
That's
a whirlwind of a transition of life for sure. I always knew that I wanted to own my own chiropractic business.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I wanted to come back to Tulsa. I actually worked in the admissions office at my chiropractic college throughout school just to be making some money. And one of the admissions advisors asked if I was coming back to Tulsa. And I was like, well, it was an option. My support system is here. I have family here. And she was like, there's actually a chiropractor who's wanting to sell her business. Would you be interested in grabbing coffee with her just to hear her out? And so that's exactly what I did about 2 weeks later. And the rest was kind of history from that. It was really the Lord's timing, and never in a million years did I think that I was going to purchase a chiropractic practice and step into that role so quickly.
Yeah.
But I'm just so thankful that the Lord, took me down that path and already had that written for me.
Yeah. So when you took over ownership, you purchased from her, did that look like transitioning her clients to your new practice, or was it kind of a fresh start? Like or was it a mix?
It was a little bit of both.
Okay.
It was a little bit of both. I precepted with her. You could call it a residency, whatever, internship. I started here in October, officially purchased the practice.
In
2025, yes.
Okay, wait, so this was almost a year ago.
Almost a year ago.
Okay.
So I precepted with her from October through the end of the year. So I had that whole time to get to know patients, get to know why they're coming in, why they love chiropractic, what they love about the previous doc, and what they can look forward to transitioning into my practice starting January 1st.
Yeah.
So I did have a time to transition those patients into my practice. We did make a big change. The doc before was insurance based.
Okay.
So she did use insurance, and now we are just a cash based office. And so
Was that a huge transition?
it
or-
was a pretty big transition,
Okay.
but it also helped us narrow down our ideal clientele. And because insurance kind of likes to dictate what chiropractic care can look like for certain patients. And I don't love that insurance, people behind a desk are telling, my patients how their body is going to heal when they're not even a part of their healing process at all.
Yeah.
And so that's why we went that route. We do take FSA and HSA payments, so that is still applicable here in our office too. So that's always an option as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So you are pretty, I mean, I think even when you just hear the name Healing Hive Chiropractic, you kind of know that it's like a pretty specific branding.
hmm
Was that a huge switch from what the previous chiropractor was doing, like as far as who their target audience was?
Yeah.
All of that?
hmm
Did it shift?
It did shift a little bit. She was it was a family wellness practice, period. And
Okay.
she was a mama and has a family of her own. And so what our shift kind of did was just brand the office a little better.
Okay.
And bees have been a big symbol in my life for quite some time. They technically, aerodynamically, are not supposed to be able to fly, but God made them willing to be able to, which is really awesome.
So that you brought that piece in from you.
I did.
Okay.
From me. From me. And then if you think about bees in a hive, they create a community and they create something that is super healing, not only for them, but for the human body as well, which we all know is honey. And it is also like the one thing that like never goes bad, which is really cool, honey itself. So it's always pure and really nourishing for the body. And a crazy thing, we just when we're thinking about future plans and things of that nature, we're always like, we would love just to have a full female team. Fun fact, the honey or like hive, when it gets cold outside and where they go into hibernation, the bees kind of kick out all the men. And like, because they are
Kick
an
'em
extra
out.
mouth to feed. They're
Yeah.
an extra mouth to feed. And so it is all females keeping the hive and the queen happy and babies happy to make it through to the spring.
So are men welcome at Healing Hive?
Yes, men are definitely welcome. It is a family-based practice, so we serve moms, dads, babies, kiddos. Our niche, though, we love serving kiddos who are on the neurodivergent spectrum and adults who are on the neurodivergent spectrum. And little did I know going into chiropractic school that that's where my heart was going to be or where God was going to lead me, but that's just where we ended up, and it has been the biggest blessing.
Yeah. So whenever you took on this role, like you went to school to be a chiropractor, do you feel like when you go into that training, do they prepare you for the actual business ownership side of it? Or is that a piece of what you learn?
We have a couple business classes, but no, essentially.
Because not every chiropractor, they might go work for a practice, but a good number of them are going to.
Yeah.
Right. And that is, I could imagine, especially in the medical, some of them do medical billing, that's a lot to learn.
A lot to learn. They prepare you in a way to like get your MPI number and just major things that you have to do or get like your malpractice and things like that. But they do not tell you, if you're going to run a cash practice, like how you need a CPA or how to pay your employee or things of that nature. So that is completely outside of chiropractic school. So I just had to learn that outside of my curriculum.
You just figured it out.
That was part of the transition too with the doc previously. She helped with a lot of that as well.
Yeah.
And we kind of just called it our parallel curriculum in chiropractic school. They teach you how to be a chiropractor. They don't necessarily teach you how to be a business owner or a really good chiropractor. So attending extra seminars and business seminars outside of school was definitely a priority for me.
Yeah.
When it may not have been for other students. So it just looks different depending on what other students are wanting to do, whether they're wanting to go work for someone, whether they're wanting to be an independent contractor or own their own business.
Yeah. Well, and I've noticed that a lot of chiropractic, you use the word chiropractic, but it can look very, very different. And so I think that probably is what you're talking about of they give you kind of like a base.
Yeah.
And then you have to kind of hone in on where you want to go with it. Is that true?
Yeah. Everyone kind of has their little niche. I feel like typically chiropractic, you think about, oh, I have low back pain or my neck hurts.
Yeah.
But nowadays, and I feel like my mom and I talk about this often, she was like, if I would have known about chiropractic back then, that they could help with kiddos, well, it's more recently researched how nervous system focused chiropractic care can
Mm.
help kiddos. And so
Mhm.
it's just ever evolving, just like medicine.
Yeah. Well, and so you talked about this a little bit, and
Mhm.
it's all over your website too, that you have a neurological focus, which probably is where you're talking about too, neurodivergent
Mhm.
focus.
Mhm.
How does that look different?
Yeah. So we're not ever chasing pain in our
Okay.
office. Yeah. So if you come in, we obviously address it.
But usually people come in telling you I hurt here, or I mean
Not
not everyone, but
necessarily. Not necessarily. If we have kiddos or adults coming in who are on the neurodivergent spectrum, we could have kiddos with an ADHD diagnosis and autism, depending on the level of diagnosis, any type of sensory processing disorder, depression, mood regulation. I also have kiddos coming in who like can't poop
mhm.
or they can't drain and have lots of ear infections.
Mm,
So it really is a wide range of what people come into our office with.
yeah.
But typically, like nervous system focused chiropractic care, we are going to do what the body wants rather than what I think the body needs.
Okay.
So adjustments look very different. I do know how to give a typical chiropractic adjustment, but we have a really big toolbox of different types and techniques of chiropractic that we
Mhm.
serve or offer here in our office
Mhm.
that can meet any body where they're needing it because
Yeah.
not every body is the same.
Yeah. Even though we've kind of been told to do set things,
Hmm.
I think probably we're at the point where we realize, what the textbooks say isn't exactly fit every single person.
Right. And everyone has a different stressor. Not everyone's
Mm.
life is the same. And so how their body transition or like takes on stress and inputs it into their nervous system is very different for everyone.
So, looking back, what do you feel like prepared you most for this season that you're in right now?
Oh my gosh. Probably what prepared me the most. I would say the parallel curriculum that I took a priority in pursuing in chiropractic school, I
Mhm.
think really put me that step ahead and ready to take on something so big. Um, because essentially, when you own a business or a chiropractic office, you are creating something much bigger than
Yeah.
just myself.
Yeah.
You're creating healing and those type of things, and making big impact in people's lives. But I would also say probably my village, I think, is probably what reminded me the most of that I am capable of doing something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That you have to remind yourself that you're capable of doing
Yes,
this, like you're doing it.
on a daily occasion, I do. Yes.
So you said in October would you say October is going to be officially your Healing Hive's first birthday, or when
So
would
it'll
that look?
technically, I officially took over, and it was
January
just
1?
me and my office manager, Cass, here in the office January 1.
Okay.
So we will probably not be in the office January 1. We're going to be,
Yeah.
celebrating 2027.
Yeah.
But probably that week we will have a big birthday party for the
Okay.
office.
So you are still technically in your first year.
Yes.
So far in
Mm-hmm.
this year, what has surprised you the most about, owning
Mm.
and running and building
Yeah.
Healing Hive?
There, oh gosh, there's always a to-do list.
Always.
Always a to-do list. And so I never thought about, when you're a business owner, you don't just get to stop when you're at work and go home and not worry about it.
Yeah.
You have to, do things outside of work. You have to make sure that everything is up to date and ready to go for the next day. So I think that was one thing where I was like, okay, I can't quite shut my brain off when I go home. So that was a new adjustment to learn. I also think just like the biggest learning curve is just seeing the healing happening in our patients here at our office, I think has been a huge confidence boost for me, but also just a testament to my training and the Lord's hands
Yeah.
because He made the body to be able to heal in such a way. And I just think it's such a beautiful thing.
So just for fun, what is one of your favorite testimonials? I mean, I'm sure you have many you could think
Yeah.
of and share, but what's one of your favorites?
Yeah. So I actually had a kiddo come in and his oxygen levels after birth were pretty low,
Mhm.
and they didn't realize that until much later. I don't know what the testing for that looked like for him or his family, but we realized after he was about 2 years old that we weren't hitting major milestones. We weren't
Mm.
eating solid foods. We weren't talking yet. And we had just a chronic cough and ear infection. And that's what they came in for was a chronic cough and an ear infection. And little did they know that nervous system focused chiropractic care would be just what they needed for their kiddo, because now we are sitting up, we are pushing onto all fours.
At 2.
He's now about 2.5.
2. Okay.
Yep, pushing onto all fours, sitting up on his own. They're able to sleep through the night, which they hadn't been able to. His whole family, like
Mhm.
parents, weren't getting great sleep because he
Yeah.
wasn't sleeping through the night.
Yeah.
He has slept through the night ever since he started chiropractic care, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And he has kicked his chronic cough and ear infections, which is awesome, which is originally why they came
Right,
in.
right.
But they just never thought in a million years that a chiropractor would be able to help with so many different things. It's just like his body just needed to heal in a certain sequence to be able to reach those milestones that they were looking for.
Yeah. Well, it's incredible. And I'm sure you have many more that you could share. But I think that it's good to keep those in mind too, for you to continue to remember
Yes.
why you got into this, because there's going to be days that are easy and
Yeah.
fun, and there's going to be days that are hard.
Yeah.
But I think that those testimonials are always great. I mean, they're great for people to educate them on what all chiropractic can do, but they're great for motivation
Yes.
too, as the business owner.
Keeps you going, for sure.
Yes. So let's talk a little more about business.
Okay.
Okay. What has been the hardest lesson you've learned already in business ownership?
Financials. Period.
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 Yeah.
I have been so blessed to have been financially taken care of for most of my life. And
Mhm.
so through chiropractic school, obviously I took out student loans and had to do all of that, but then realizing, okay, these people are depending on me. I have an employee depending on me, and I also have to make a living
Yeah.
and live. And so realizing that, one, we need a CPA. Two, you have to keep a chart, or like you have to keep up with your financials, but
Yeah.
also realizing that the Lord is going to teach you some things that you probably need to learn early on, and hit a little bit of rock bottom and then bringing right back up.
Yeah.
So we actually had our best month financially this past June, which is really awesome.
That
We
is
nearly
awesome.
tripled our monthly income, which is great. And what you don't expect to hear 6 months into practice either.
Mhm.
So that is all the Lord's doing. But yeah, financials, period.
Well, and I think that business owners who maybe wouldn't say that that's the hardest lesson they've learned is because they haven't learned it yet.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
that's a good point.
it is the hardest, and
Yeah.
it's just the thing. You're like, I didn't get into this to only have to, or to have to think about these things. But
Right.
if you don't, who's going to?
Who's going
Yeah.
to? Exactly. And we could go back to the question of like talking about chiropractic school. Do they
Yeah.
teach you these things? No.
Yeah.
They do not teach you about financials and how to pay yourself and taxes and all
Right.
those things. So I think that one has been the biggest learning curve, and I mean, one of the most pivotal things that have happened in practice thus far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you personally balance the constant pull, I'm sure, of being the doctor, but also
Mhm.
being the business owner?
I would say anyone who is starting a chiropractic practice needs to have an office manager,
Mm.
because she is a lifesaver. Her name is Cass. She just makes my world spin, which is awesome. And being able to take off of my plate or my to-do list, and her just being so willing to do so, really allows me to be the doctor.
Yeah.
And then I can be the business owner when I get home.
Yeah. When you get home, so that means like you're not clocking out.
I'm not clocking out typically when I get home. There are nights though, like you have to give and take. You have to give yourself a break.
Yeah.
Like I just found a new TV show that my boyfriend and I are very obsessed with. So it's like those things of like,
Are you gonna
okay.
shout it out?
It's called From. It's a thriller
From.
TV
Okay.
show. It's on Amazon Prime.
All right.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good if you like a thriller, but
If you like to get your nervous system
I know,
like
fired up. Not typically what I would recommend, but it's we typically don't find a TV show that we both like. And
Yeah.
so the fact that we now have one, it's like, okay, well, we're going to watch it. And
Yeah.
whatever's on the to-do list can either wait until the morning, or I'll get it done right after dinner so we can just put it away.
Yeah, exactly. So I recently had a conversation with Ashley Beers, who owns Anchored in Hope Therapy.
Mhm.
I almost said chiropractic, not chiropractic, therapy.
Okay.
And so we talked a lot about just the burnout that business owners can
Mhm.
face, and how that feels. And we talked about how, and I can't quote her in this moment, but she said something along the lines of, as a business owner, you have to find ways to pour back into yourself.
Mhm.
And like even before we started recording,
Mhm.
this was not planned. It just happened. You got you got an
Yes,
adjustment.
I
And
did.
so I think that kind of tied it back in my mind of that conversation of how, like, as a business owner, and especially as someone in the health and wellness industry, like you
Yeah.
have to take the time and it's not going to just happen. Like you
Yep.
have to prioritize the time to pour back into yourself and to
Yep.
take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So, how do you do that and make that a priority?
Yes. So I do get adjusted. People don't really think that your chiropractor needs a chiropractor. I
Yeah.
get adjusted about 3 to 4 times a week, which is awesome. I am trying to walk the walk and not just talk the talk
Yeah.
to my patients. And so making sure that my nervous system is nice and regulated so I can help them get their nervous system nice and regulated. So obviously adjusting. I
Mhm.
may prioritize sleep. That is one of my big things. If I don't sleep in the evenings, then I don't show up as my best self the next day.
Right.
Fun things that I like to do. I love to read. I love to read on my off time. I also love needle pointing. So if there's any needle pointers out there, I love needle pointings. I also am a frequent gym goer and just make sure that my body is feeling nice and strong to be able to adjust so many patients a week.
Yeah.
And my dog and support system, honestly, spending time with them obviously fills up my cup every time.
Yeah. And you have to prioritize that, right? Like it doesn't just happen.
No, it doesn't just happen. Honestly, I have to add it to my to-do list or on my calendar during the
Yeah.
day to spend like, okay, I have an hour here. This is what we're going to do. Or I have 30 minutes here. I need to sit down and just, doom scroll or
Yeah.
read my book
Yeah.
or do something to turn my brain off.
Yeah. So obviously when you look at your website, which I think I love the website, by the way. Okay, so I'll be honest, I'm one of those people who I love good branding too. And so whenever I saw on your website that your one of your contact emails was buzz at Hive
At
Healing
Healing
Hive.
Hive Chiro,
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's cute. That's cute."
Yes.
But you do talk about how faith is integrated into you and
Mhm.
I obviously is going to translate into your practice. So, how has your faith shaped the way that you wanted to lead this
Mm,
chiropractic office?
yeah. Like I said, creating something that's much bigger than yourself, you can't quite wrap your head around the impact that you're having on so many families' lives.
Mhm.
And it is not done alone. So, also prioritizing time in the Word or in my devotional each day is a big part of my routine as well. And just making sure that one, I am showing up the way that He needs me to and how my patients need me to. And what I'm called to do. I definitely feel like I have been called to this style of chiropractic, specifically to have a bigger impact. And I do like before in each room, there's a chiropractic prayer. So I do pray before each patient or before I adjust each patient, just because it's like, okay, whatever, like work through me, Lord, whatever their body is needing, please let me know.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I think that that is, it makes you unique
Hmm.
and it's different. I think that it affects the way that you operate, the way that you care for people,
Yeah.
and the way that you lead your team. So I think that's
Yeah.
great. So I want you to share a couple of because you probably hear it all
Yeah.
in your field, but what are some of the biggest misconceptions you feel that there are
Mm,
surrounding either chiropractic or you can make it even more specific to like your focus of chiropractic care.
yeah. A big one that I think everyone should know, we're not bone crackers. We're not cracking your bones. So if you hear little pops come from your spine, we
Which
call
I
them
like.
we we call them popcorn in our office.
Yes.
Typically, how many popcorns do you have in your back? Or we'll take a guessing game before we adjust kiddos. That's typically just a gas leaving the joint space,
Mm,
so it's not
mhm,
actually just your bones cracking. So
mhm.
there's a misconception. But nervous system focused chiropractic care, if there is an area of stress in your body, we use neurological insight scans.
Oh, yeah,
There's
okay.
three scans that we do:
Mhm,
HRV, thermal, and EMG.
okay.
This just lets us know where the stressor is in your body and how your body is adapting to stress.
Mhm,
And so, if there is a stressor in there, we call it a kink in the fire hose, a subluxation, or just area of stress. Typically, whatever we're perceiving from the environment has to go through that stress to communicate to your body, and then your body has to respond after it's gone through that stressor. And typically, that response isn't as accurate or as reliable as we would like it to be without that stressor there. So
mhm.
that is typically neurologically focused chiropractic care, is we're going to take that stressor out and allow your body to do the healing for itself, because that's
Yeah,
how God created it, which is awesome.
yeah,
And why I love this job so much. But to take that stress out that has been there for a while, um just allows you to take in whatever's happening in the environment through your brain to your body and allow your body and brain to have an accurate response, whether that be a stressful response or a happy, whatever emotion or that you're trying to have.
Yeah. So those are misconceptions.
Misconceptions, yes.
Misconceptions. If you were to give someone, I guess, some tips that are even outside of chiropractic care, what do you feel like are some of the biggest things that even patients that you see, if they could just implement this into their life, it would be better?
I think everyone needs a chiropractor. So, if you can find a neurologically focused chiropractor near you, we are a part of PX Docs. So, if you go to pxdocs.com, you can type in your zip code and find a
Okay.
neurologically focused chiropractor near you.
PX Docs.
Yes, it
That
stands for
is
the pediatric
okay.
experience.
So that is
PX
for
Docs.
neurological
Neurologically focused chiropractors.
Okay.
Yes. And or pediatric chiropractors as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So one, that, and two, honestly, I think being as just a business owner, showing up every day, it doesn't have to be perfect.
Mhm.
I have Cass reminds me of this every day. Done is better than perfect.
It's true.
So just showing up, being consistent, I think is probably one of the best things that you can do as a business owner.
Yeah, that's good. So just because not everyone might be familiar with where you're actually located,
Yep.
tell everyone where they can actually physically find you.
Yeah. So we're at 91st in Yale in Tulsa. So we are catty cornered from the Whole Foods. We are in the retail space that sits behind Quick Trip. So we're in here with Pure Bar, Drip City Coffee, all of those things. Yep.
There's some good spots back here.
Good spots. We love the coffee. We love the girls at Pure Bar. We all get our nails done down at Arc Nails. So we love this little corner of town.
It really is a corner.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that you have gotten to network a lot with other business owners, maybe in the shopping center, but
Yeah.
even beyond that. I actually saw an open house on social media of a business that I'd connected with, and you were there.
Yes.
So how big has networking and getting out there like that in that capacity
Yeah.
helped? I know in those networking situations, it's not all about, you don't go in there and be like, oh, how can I get something out of this?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
it raises everyone up. So
Yeah.
how has that played a role in just exposure, letting people know you're here? Because while this was a chiropractic office before,
Yep.
it's a new branding,
Yep.
new ownership, all that.
Yeah, I honestly think any new business owners should be networking. The doc that was here previously, she was like, you should feel tired when you go home. You should be meeting with people. You should be getting coffee. You should be just telling them about what you
Yeah.
provide. And so I honestly think that has been a huge part of our growth thus far.
Yeah.
We have met with several providers, and I also make it a point to where I'm not referring patients to providers that I haven't met yet or had
Mhm.
coffee with. I want to trust them as well, and I want to
Right.
I want to give a good referral.
Yeah.
And so that's also on me as well to grow my network because if I'm not meeting with them, I typically can't refer them out, you know.
Yeah.
So that's also on me to just grow that network and make sure that I have more options for my patients to choose from that I can refer to.
Have there been any other, I guess, things besides just, networking
Mm-hmm.
in that way that have really helped gain exposure, gain new clients in the market, like it basically in the marketing
Yeah.
capacity?
Yeah. So we are very active on our social media marketing for marketing reasons. So we have had a lot of people come from social media, which is
Mhm.
awesome. We also were a part of the Tulsa Autism Walk.
Oh,
I
very
think that was
cool.
that was in May.
Uh-huh.
And so we have had several patients and providers. There were lots of providers at
Yeah.
that walk
Yeah.
to reach out and be like, "Can I have your Perfect Storm workshop graphic? Can we come? Can we come see what you do? Can we please get coffee?" Just because they are also needing a referral for their patients as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. So that is something you just brought up. I think that's something that people oftentimes downplay or don't realize
Mhm.
as far as a win, because I was talking with someone actually recently about the effectiveness of marketing events like that, where
Yeah.
you go and set up,
Yeah.
maybe have material, you maybe try to get people's contact information so you can
Yeah.
follow up with them. So it definitely depends on the business
It does.
and the industry. But one thing that I think people overlook is that, yeah, you might be meeting your future clients, but also you get to, if you're at an event that makes sense for you and, let's say, this business down the road
Mhm.
or across town to be at, there might be a reason that y'all should connect.
Yeah.
And, maybe that does provide future opportunities.
For sure. Yeah. And I definitely think We have been a part of a few of those events where you go and set up a table and get to talk to everyone and
Yeah.
get everyone's phone number, bring a raffle prize. Like, we've done it all.
Yeah.
And I definitely think going to an event that is your niche of what you are specializing in is definitely more helpful.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were the only chiropractors at the Autism Walk, which I was a little
Really?
shocked about. That
Yeah.
is just, our bread and butter in this office.
Yeah.
But it also just made me really hopeful that this is a type of care that the Tulsa community is
Yeah.
looking and searching for.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So because listen, I could go on and on, but I'll let you share from experience what
Yeah.
for those marketing events, because I know there are a lot of businesses all across the range of types of
Mhm.
businesses that are like, should I do this marketing event? Should I go set up? Because it's work, y'all. You
It
gotta,
is work.
you can't just show up there just deciding the day of. Like, you've got to prepare ahead of
Yeah.
time. You got to have your setup. But what are some of the, like, absolutely this is what's going to help you be set up for success in an event?
Mhm.
Some of the things that you've learned, because you mentioned some of them that I'm like, if you're not going with those things, don't go.
Yeah.
So what are some of those?
So we have, first off, we always have graphics.
Mhm.
We always have graphics that tell the people what we're about and QR codes so they have easy access to all of our information and educational materials.
Yeah.
We also just came up with, typically, I feel like at these tables, you will see like a bowl of candy or people giving out donuts or things that aren't the healthiest for you. So, as a chiropractor who prioritizes health, I just refused
Yeah.
to do candy or any type of snack like that. What we did to be on brand for us, we do honey sticks. We give out honey
Exactly. I
sticks.
love it.
So just being really creative within your own brand and what you can offer people in such a quick like interaction.
Right.
We did our Linktree QR code. It had our name on the little tag that we put on a honey stick, and they loved it.
Yeah.
And specifically at the Autism Walk, a lot of kiddos haven't really experienced the taste of honey, and we typically see any kiddo that's on like the neurodivergent spectrum sometimes can be more picky with food. And
Right.
so they got to try honey for the first time, and so many of them loved it, which we didn't expect for that to be a takeaway of the day.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
things like that.
Well, and you mentioned a raffle.
Yes.
I say that because when you're setting up at these events, yeah, there's gonna be people who won't like actually start the conversation with you. They'll probably come grab your freebie.
Yep.
That's fine, but that's why on your freebie you had your information.
Yes. Yeah.
But for the raffle, the
Mhm.
reason, I mean, yeah, sometimes like for you, it might, or for you or any business, it might be hard to come up with something to, you want to give away
Yeah.
because it might not apply to everybody.
Yeah.
But it allows you to get their information
Mhm.
because if you don't have a way to follow up with them,
Yeah.
it's not a waste of your time, but you are definitely not getting the most out of that.
Out of the event.
Yeah,
Exactly.
out of it as you could. But I love all of those points. And the fact that you could do a QR code on your graphics, because someone, you know how they are. They will like stay at the back
Yeah.
and like try to like look without saying anything because they know if they start talking, they're gonna get pulled into a
Sucked
conversation.
in. Yes.
So like having something they can just like snap their phone out and like
Yeah.
get their little QR code.
Yeah.
I love that. So anything else besides social media and networking events that you have had success with marketing wise?
Social media and networking. Honestly, networking with different providers. We print out all of our graphics for both of our workshops that we offer in our office. We offer 2 different workshops once a month.
Okay, like
Or
an
once
event
every
type
other
of
month.
thing?
Yes, it's
Okay.
a free educational workshop for parents. One of them is the perfect storm. This talks about when a kiddo on the neurodivergent spectrum experienced a stressor, whether that was at birth or later on in life, and what we kind of see that dominoing into. Specifically, teachers that come into the office see this a lot in their classrooms, behavioral things that are coming up at home, those type of things. So we do a free educational parent workshop
Mhm.
talking about that. And then we also have a birth and beyond workshop.
Okay.
That is just talking about having a regulated nervous system. One, when you're trying to conceive or pregnant, how you are impacting also baby's nervous system in that way. So that's also free. We also have snacks and drinks at those workshops, but we print out all of our graphics and take them to all of our providers or email them to them. And so they will put them up in their office. We will have new people who haven't even stepped foot into our office come to these workshops because it's free. It's
Right.
free
Why not?
education. Why not?
Yeah.
And you get free food.
Yeah.
So we just ask that you RSVP. But that has been a awesome thing that I feel like is kind of old school business, old school marketing of taking
Mhm.
your graphics to another business and saying, hey, we have this workshop coming up and I think it would benefit some of your patients. That has been a great way to get people through our door as well.
Old school, but still effective.
Still
Like,
very effective.
you don't throw out what's working.
Yeah.
I love that. That is
Yeah.
a great idea. Okay, so I have some rapid fire questions just for
Okay.
fun.
Okay.
Just for fun, especially since you shared some of your interests, like
Yeah.
reading and needlepoint
Yes.
and everything. So, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Because let's shout out Drip City. That's
I know
right
it's
next
2 doors down.
to you.
It's so dangerous, but it is so delicious. They are local. It's owned by Tulsa PD, and
Yes.
so we love Drip City. And typically, any patient that signs on to care will get a free espresso from us, which is really
What?
cool. Yeah, we
Nice.
love
Oh,
them.
that's a
We
perk.
can't get enough from Drip City.
Okay, this is probably gonna be, if you're like me, this is gonna be a hard rapid fire question. Favorite local business
Ooh,
besides your own?
besides my own,
Because that's wide open. See, I asked this question, but I like hate questions like this because I'm like, I can't pick a favorite.
I know. Well, and I'm like, where do I frequent often?
Yeah.
Where do I frequent often? I feel like typically during my free time, I am at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
So I will either say, and like I live in the Broken Arrow area, so I love Lorne Bakery Cafe. I don't know what it's.
Which they're opening a new one.
They're opening a new one this Friday.
This
And
Friday,
Jinx,
grand
I'm so
opening.
excited. They took over that KFC and said bye bye, bye bye KFC.
Yeah.
Which I'm all for. But I would say a coffee shop. So either Drip City, Lorne. I love a good coffee.
Me too.
Yeah.
See, it's so hard when someone's like coffee or tea, and they're like tea. You're like, I have nothing else.
I'm not.
I have nothing else.
It
Nothing else
tastes-
to talk about. Like,
it-
I'm not gonna talk about jasmine
No.
and like
It-
chamomile. I'm not. I mean, I'll drink it, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about that.
No, it's not
Coffee,
as fun.
I can talk.
Yeah.
I can hang with coffee. Okay, book you read that you really liked recently.
That I really liked recently. I just listened to Disconnected Kids.
Okay.
So that is a pretty good one.
Is that a good one for parents or just anyone?
It can be for anyone. It may have a little bit more medical terminology in it,
Okay.
but it just talks about neurodivergence and what that looks like in our kiddos today.
Okay. Best piece or a good piece. It's hard to say best, but a good piece of advice, business advice you've received.
Ooh. Best
I liked
business advice.
what the former chiropractor said, that was like,
Yep.
you should leave tired, but
Yeah.
another one besides that.
I think honestly the best piece of business advice would be the consistency of showing up every day, whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
Because it is your baby. I guess that would be a good one too. Your business is your baby. I had some advice from a chiropractic mentor. She was saying you cannot leave your baby within the first year of business. You know, you can't take off 2 weeks. You can't take big vacations. It's just because you are growing this baby essentially, and your patients are depending on you, and it is so new that you want to create that consistency for them.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. What is one thing you wish every parent knew?
I wish every parent knew how involved the nervous system is in a lot of what their kids are dealing with.
Yeah.
Whether it is they can't poop, whether it's they can't sleep, if they have ear infections, sometimes antibiotics isn't necessarily the best route to go. Just looking for a less invasive option, so more conservative option before going the medical route.
Yeah. What is one word that describes this season of life?
Fast.
Yeah.
I thought time was flying by in chiropractic school and that I had no time. And I had lots of mentors tell me who owned their own chiropractic offices that little did I know that I would feel like I have no time.
Yeah.
During this season of life compared to when I did.
Yeah.
So this season of life has been very fast, but very fulfilling.
Yeah. Those are good. Okay, so those are my rapid fire. But tell us, what is next for the Hive?
For
What's
Healing
next?
Hive, there are probably lots of next. Eventually, we would love to have a full female team. Who knows if the Lord has this in our plan? Multiple locations, having different providers in our offices would be wonderful. But on a small scale, since we are so new, we have a new front desk coming in this weekend, which
Oh,
is very exciting.
That's fun.
Yes, we are just making this place feel a little bit more like home.
Yeah, which BT Dubs, I haven't told you this yet, but we're going to do a little office tour after this. So
Perfect.
you can go to the socials.
Yes.
If you have never been in, you'll get a little preview, and then you can come in for a workshop or for a consult, whatever.
Yes.
Okay, so if someone it wants to connect with you online, where
Yeah.
should they find you? Where can they find you?
Typically, Instagram is the best way. We have all of our links in our Instagram bio at Healing Hive Chiro. And you can schedule with us there. You can see what we're about, find our website. You can see the culture of the office in all of our posts. And I think that would be the best place to connect.
I love Instagram, so that's good.
Yeah.
I'm on Instagram.
Makes it easy.
all the time. Not all the time, but a lot. Okay, so the one question we always ask, what is one thing that you don't have fully figured out right now, but you're building through anyway?
Something I don't have fully figured out. Honestly, can I say this whole business thing? Can I say that?
I know some people say that. They're like, everything.
Yeah, can I say just what building a business looks like? Because I do think it's different for everyone,
Yeah.
depending on what your niche is and what your business is. But honestly, there is no perfect way to do it.
Mhm.
And for everyone, they have their own journey in what that looks like for them. So honestly, this whole business thing, but we are keeping afloat, and that's all that I've prayed for. And I'm just so thankful that, the Lord is blessing us with new patients weekly.
Yeah, and you're always going to be figuring something out.
Yeah.
Figuring it out.
Yeah, literally.
Yes. Well, that is it for this session of the back office. If this conversation gave you clarity, a new angle, or just the reminder that you're not the only one navigating this, then it did its job. Take what's useful, apply it, move on it, and remember that no one has it fully figured out, but we are building anyway. And if you found this valuable, share it with another operator who's also building. And you can always hang out with us in between sessions at Signify Marketing Social. I'm Dalayna Dillon, and we will see you next time.